So, I posted a photo on my social networks a couple days ago about how the Mortal Kombat developers have changed all the female models to look more modest. This means what feminists would call realistic proportions. The girls are shorter, hip-to-waist ratios less exaggerated, far less boobage, and the clothing is much more modest. This has really bothered me, since Mortal Kombat has been my favorite franchise since I discovered it when I was younger simply because it was able to combine out-of-this-world fighter bodies, male and female, with unrealistic gore and a really great story. To me, Mortal Kombat has proved that sexiness and gore doesn't have to detract from the storyline, and it doesn't have to make the franchise shallow. You get great gameplay mechanics, impressive storytelling, combined with hot male and female characters and their own personalities and fighting styles. So my posts on social networks had varying responses, but none in favor of the change really made any sense to me. Sure, maybe I am more outraged than others because it is my personal preference to watch big tits on a screen while I'm playing a game. I can understand and respect that other people have different ideals of beauty and what they want in a game, but I feel we can all sympathize with the other reasons that I'm pissed off, even if you don't like big boobs and a small waist. First of all, a franchise should never drastically change a character's personality or appearance out of the blue. It changes the whole game and takes away from the previous games in the franchise. Unless you're gonna explain it away with story, it doesn't make any sense and it makes the hardcore fans angry and confused. Some people said that it was because MKX takes place more than 20 years after the last installment, but that doesn't make any sense as a reason either. The females are much shorter and have different body types completely. People don't lose height and they don't decrease in breast size over time. What's more is Cassie Cage also has the same shape despite being younger. Others argue that it's nice for MKX to bring more realism to Mortal Kombat. Really? You want realism? Well, then let's take out the magic, the X-ray moves that make no sense, the fatalities, and everything else that can't happen in real life. The whole game would pretty much be shit then. I don't know about you guys, but I love unrealistic components in games. That's why I play games in the first place. They're badass and fantastical. No one would play games if they were exactly like real life all the time. And to put more emphasis on how unfair it is that there's this new pseudo-realism going around in Mortal Kombat, the men are still completely yoked. None of them are like Bruce Lee small and wiry, they're all like bodybuilder size or bigger. Why not make that more realistic then? Shaolin monks don't need that much beef to do the things that they do. Why not put a shirt on Goro? He shows so much. I think it's pretty clear that that change is not made because there's no men complaining about how male characters make them look bad because they're better looking than them. Male superheroes have always been exceptionally buff or super strong. Why can't the female characters have exceptional, desirable figures too without people bitching? And honestly, I know people are gonna hate me for this, but if you want exact realism, then the female characters should never ever be able to beat the evenly matched male characters. I mean, females are just structurally and biologically weaker and smaller, and they have a lower cap for physical strength. How stupid does that sound, right? I like my women in a game to be able to kick the shit out of a man unrealistically, just as much as I like her to have nice boobs and a nice ass while doing it. The last comment implied that it was never really established that the women in MK were supposed to be super sexy because of the first couple games. That's because they were 100% mocap, the men were smaller too. Since the technology to make 3D models has been around, they've been sexy. It's clear to me that that's what Ed Boon intended. It is my assumption that, because they didn't change the models of the men and they didn't take out anything else that's unrealistic in the game, they're pandering to the feminist urge to make games objectify women less.
Why no female Lin Kuei?
Which in my opinion is selling out. You should never change something that the fans love just to shut people up, and you should never change it for money either, especially not that drastically. The graphics may be better in MKX from the last installment, but they really should have never changed the way the characters look and dress. It changed the whole image of the franchise I love so much. It really sucks that the social stigma around sex makes it so that people think that sexiness is something that detracts rather than adds. Oh, women can't be smart, serious, and strong if they're sexy. It's fucking bullshit. Aside from this complaint, the crypt is worse and more annoying to navigate, and there's never enough Shao Kahn. That man is perfect.
Shao Kahn wins. Fatality.
But you know, he should put a shirt on. Okay, so now I'm gonna cut to some side-by-side action from MK9 and MKX to show you the differences. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and post down in the comments a discussion of whether or not you like the changes. Bye guys, thanks for watching.
Why no female Lin Kuei?
There are prostitutes.